93.7 The Ticket.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details, you take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Ticket Weeknights, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got Nick Lyman hopping in studio with me for this hour. We'll be back on track with our regular programming after this, but plenty of things to talk about. We can definitely get into the football. Obviously, there's the potential Mike Eckler news, although nothing's official yet. We got a big game for women's basketball. That one tomorrow, 6 p.m. You got a ranked matchup. They're taking on the Michigan State Spartans, who have only lost one game so far this year, and there's a lot at stake. Also a road game for those guys. So we all know what it's like. It's the same for men and women. Stealing road games in the Big Ten is one of the tougher things to do. But they got a huge opportunity tomorrow. Nick Wyman, before we get into any event, how's it going on a Tuesday, January 14th? Well, Wednesday. Apologies.
Wednesday. Your days are mixed up. And we're in different seats tonight. I mean, we've been in the studio.
We're throwing it off. Yeah.
We're throwing everybody for a loop, and that's just kind of what it's been. You know what else was thrown? Or Oregon got thrown for a loop last night in men's basketball. I mean,
they got thrown for multiple loops.
I mean, that's kind of what you wanted to see out of Nebraska. I was hoping that we talked about it, how there were some close games with New Hampshire and Illinois and Michigan State. Obviously, some of those teams who are legit Big Ten title contenders, and then New Hampshire, who's a out-of-conference game. But to just have that kind of killer instinct, like Oregon hung around for a solid bunch of the first half, but Nebraska just took complete control. I mean, everything rolling your way, nothing. Trains, runaway train, can't get out of the way. Nebraska, all the way. That's just how it was. And I'm excited that they got a win like that, because it feels like they've been searching for a win like that in conference play. Well, there was a couple. There was Wisconsin, but it's like there's been a lot of close calls. I mean, Ohio State, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan State. Now you get a win like that against a Oregon team who's obviously missing one of their better players, but still, I mean, they handle business like that, sellout crowd, the hype's real, and they're a legit threat.
Well, that's what a top 10 team would do.
Yeah.
Is show those other teams that you simply don't belong out here. We appreciate, you guys coming down, but you guys never had a shot. Even if it maybe felt like it in the first half, how about a close to a 40-point loss? And it was impressive. I mean, you look at that game, and one of the concerns, not just this game, but kind of all year for this Nebraska team, it's not necessarily the biggest group of guys, especially if you got Burke, Bear, Utengel off the floor, was how these guys are going to do in the rebounding battle. And they done well. I think they actually would end up winning that rebounding battle, and they're just doing a lot of damage with it and getting a lot of offensive rebounds on top of it. This is a team that hasn't been getting pushed around, I don't think, the way people have anticipated, and it's led them to one of the 4 undefeated teams left in the country, Iowa State. They took a loss to Kansas. Pretty tough loss at that. So they are no longer in the conversation. We're down to Miami, Ohio, Vanderbilt, Arizona, Nebraska. Nice. Currently, Nebraska is 6-0 in conference play. The only other perfect team in conference play so far in the Big Ten is the Purdue Boilermakers. They're also sit with a perfect 6-0 record, but they do have one regular season loss. Huskers, the only team in the Big Ten with an undefeated, unstained record with a win streak of 17, which almost just feels silly to say.
It feels like it's a dream. But
21, if we're going to be exact.
If you're going back to last year, longest win streak in the country, not only dating back to last year, but also just in general this year, 34-29 in the rebounding category in favor of the Huskers last night. So, I mean, everything, 58% as a team in the second half. I mean, you're going to win by a lot if you're shooting 58%. And you have Braden Frager, 23, Price Stanford, 28, 7 of 11 from 3. I mean, he was on fire. Like, if he can take over games like that in Nebraska's going to be a tough team to beat because he's just one guy, but there's also 5 or 6 other guys who could take over a game like that.
Oh, 100%. And I do want to go a little bit into the box score before we move on from it, just to highlight some of the things that we're talking about here. Again, it was a 90-55 win.
Wild.
That first half, it's kind of close. Nebraska wins the first half by 12 points, 30-42. And then to start the second half, it was just all Huskers and only Huskers. They get outscored. Oregon does in that second half, 25-48, which would lead to close to a 40-point win. They win by 35 points. And obviously the leading scorer was Price Stanford in that one. We know the headlines, but again, the rebounding battle that you talked about. Nebraska would win the rebounding battle 29-34, and it's the 8 offensive rebounds, which is you love to see, because we kind of ran into that with Illinois on the road earlier this year, where Illinois' offense was never really blowing us away, but you would look around and you would see, some offensive rebounds, a kick out for a 3, or worst case, offensive rebounds, put it back up, get fouled. Illinois is able to stop the clock to try to claw back for a victory, and they almost got there by just simply getting rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds, and getting to the line.
Largest margin of victory in Big Ten since joining the conference in 2011, 2012. That is wild to say.
Another history marker.
Yeah, program history. That is the buzzword we mentioned the other night. I think that's kind of the buzzword around the season. And they just keep proving that, hey, they are a legit team. I mean, with Iowa State losing, and who knows? I mean, there's still a lot of games left. It's only Wednesday.
Yep.
In college basketball, there's a lot of games played from now until Sunday.
Which is just crazier that we're 17 wins already.
How high can this team get? I mean, like, the bar is, beginning of the year, everyone was like, get to 20-ish wins.
Yeah.
Because that's the magic number to get to the tournament. Usually in the
the Big Ten Conference.
In the Big Ten Conference. They're going to smash that probably before the month's over of January. There's still 2 months of basketball left. There's still a Big Ten tournament. There's plenty of opportunities still left. Plenty of big games left on the schedule, especially one at the end of the month against Michigan.
Yeah, that'll be once we hit Michigan, it's going to be a battle down the stretch.
I mean, the sky is the limit for this team.
You don't like to look ahead, but to your point, Northwestern on the road, which that's going to be another big game. All these road games in the Big Ten, I say it enough, but it's obvious that how important and vital those are, and that's why it's huge to steal a road game versus Indiana, Ohio State, Illinois.
With Northwestern, that is going to be a very different environment because it's a small arena down there in Evanston. I'm curious, like, if Northwestern fans don't show out, how many Husker fans make the trip? I know you guys talked about
a
that.
lot.
Like, will it be a home game away from home? But it's also a different environment than a Pinnacle Bank Arena or playing in Indiana or Illinois. It's going to be I'm just curious how they carry, I always wanted them to have a game like this where they just stomp on the neck. Sorry, we're going to outclass you in every shape and form.
Yep.
And we're going to carry them at moment in the next game. If they come out hot like that, I mean, sky's the limit. And they're just going to keep winning games like that, I hope, against non-ranked opponents, because that will help you carry momentum into those. We'll get into it. They're big ranked matchups, which are coming up at the end of the month, leading into February.
Well, it's the first time, too. I've seen, like, Nebraska kind of sucked the life out of Oregon.
Yeah.
At one point there was a possession where Cale Jacobson was just dribbling around wide open, and he gets, like, all the way to the low block, and, like, still, there's not a single Oregon Duck player that even tries to contest, and it's the easiest two-point shot that's not considered a layup all game, and he had like 4 Ducks around him that just didn't make the effort or care to even contest it, and that was obviously after Sanford's going nuclear, Frager's hitting threes, and then Cale Jacobson just literally walked, and they call a timeout. Like, the life was out of Oregon. They just kind of got to the point where it's like, whatever these guys put up, they're dropping, and it was the first time I've seen that watching this basketball program where the life was, it was out of that team, at least for those few possessions. They did not look like they even wanted to be there anymore.
Frager is a walking highlight reel. This man, that dunk he had, oh man, that was nasty. And like you said, Oregon lost life. The second half, they had to call timeout 90 seconds into the second half.
Yeah.
When that's happening, you're doing something right. When the other team has to try to stop the bleeding, try to regroup the soldiers, and get back into it. And Nebraska said, nah. We're going to do this as a team, and I mean, it's crazy to say. I mean, coming into the year, it was just like...
Doesn't get old, though.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, because, you guys talked about it last night, just how far the program has come. Like, the past is the past. This is the now. And there were years where they won, seven games, single-digit games, and, you saw the vision Fred Hoiberg had. It just was never fully put together. They've had some really talented players going to the pro level, still in the pro level, and finding success in the pro level.
Yeah, McGowan's the most recent one who's really putting up some good stats.
He's in a great situation right now with the Pelicans. Like, and he's taking, and you can see he's blossoming with it. You go, now those guys kind of set the table. You saw the vision Fred Hoiberg had for this group. A couple years later, Tominaga comes in, and Tominaga mania kind of takes over. He was all over. He was a
Big Ten favorite at the very
darling.
least.
He was a college basketball favorite.
Yeah.
He was a darling, and he come up short against A&M in that.
Didn't make him the ambassador
yeah.
for Lincoln. He got the full recognition from the government.
It was awesome. Like, he took over the Nebraska basketball world, but also the college basketball world. He came into the tournament. They came up short against A&M. Last year was last year, and now here we are. The sky's the limit. In this day and age of college sports, I don't think you can look back at future, like the past. Because football.
Well, especially with NIL, now you really can't.
Indiana football is a juggernaut. They have stomped Ohio State. The Big Ten championship game is close, but that is a neutral site game against, were arguably at the time, the top 2 teams, the favorites.
They're so good that people think they're cheating. which I hope they're not. I
I hope
they
they're not
are,
either,
but-
because it's an awesome story for college sports. Because people, the Alabamas and Georgias and the Clemsons and
Which they were cheating by paying players.
people just were annoyed
Yeah.
at seeing the same teams,
Mhm.
and then the parity happens, and now a couple years ago, you go, oh, Nebraska is going to be a top 10 team in the country. They would have looked at you and been like, turn off the PlayStation. they would have called you crazy.
And I used to play, NCAA basketball. That was tough. I couldn't even get the Huskers to 17-0.
So what Fred Hoiberg is doing is just
Even harder than video games.
it's awesome. I mean, he had to go through the COVID cycle too. There was COVID years, and
that'll eliminate a program. It's one thing to be a North Carolina or a Duke and go through COVID where your foundation's set. You can take a couple of bad storms, but because you've built such a solid foundation, once the storm passes, you're right back to building where you left off. We were trying to pour the foundation, and then we had the storm, and then everything just got ruined right then and there. And I'm usually not a whole lot defending Scott Frost and in his corner, but Scott Frost had a little bit of the same thing, which really hurt him. Now, I don't know if Scott Frost is able to turn it around like Fred Hoiberg did. Certainly not with the pressures we have for Husker football, which they're going to be changed now. I think we have a new expectation for Husker hoops, which is great. But the same thing happened to Frost. Like those basketball roster, that football roster, you had two teams that couldn't figure out. They're trying to build what is the identity, and then you get COVID, and then you get derailed, and then you get Noah Vedral and Brant Banks playing. Like that's how that stuff happens. Let's get from Eric and Lincoln here. And again, you guys can join in. Talking Husker hoops. 402-464-5685. Eric and Lincoln. We used to be Bubble Watch with teams like North Carolina State and Memphis. Now we are a top 10 watching. It's nuts. You're not wrong. I'm still wrapping my mind around how good this team is.
Some media outlets have Nebraska as a 1 seed if the season ended today, which you can't think like that, but that's just
That's
cool.
been it for a few weeks now.
It's cool. It's cool
Yeah.
to see. And looking ahead, we're about to preview the Northwestern game. Northwestern, since the calendar flipped to 2026, they have not been in a great shape.
0-5 in Big Ten play, 8-8, similar to Oregon, except they got zero conference wins.
Capped off their final game of 2025 at Howard, beating them by 20, 80-60 in a non-conference game. Calendar turns to 2026. They lose to Minnesota at home, 84-78. Then they play at Michigan State, lose by 10. Play at Rutgers, overtime loss by 2. And now they're playing Illinois as we speak, as of right now. They are down by 6, 33-27 with 2.5 to go in the first half. So
Yeah, and they're at home. And I got that one up there as well. And it's, there's a good chance they're 0-6 in Big Ten play, and they're under 500. They still got Martinelli, though, and he's given us problems in the past.
Northwestern has given Nebraska problems in the past. I feel like there's the Boo Buoys of the world. Those guys
Oh.
always would score.
He's gone. Boo Booey's gone. That guy was a nightmare.
He has no eligibility left.
Oh,
Are we
man.
sure? No, I just felt like those guys would always just jump on Nebraska and they'd, play at PBA and find they just love the rims at PBA and just hit threes left and right. And then it was just like,
Well, Boo Boo is also just a problem for anyone.
he
That guy was
really
good.
really good point guard. Really
And
good
I was
guard.
happy to see him be done.
That was- I mean, Northwestern's just kind of they're just trying to find themselves right now, and with a Nebraska team who's coming off one of arguably their biggest lopsided conference games in
Since you said 2012?
Yeah, pretty much. And Northwestern, who's trying to just get in the win column.
We're not the team that they want to see right now.
No, it's I just hope Nebraska just has that momentum and they just carry that into that game. Because if you win that one, then you check on the next one and the next one. And then in the rearview mirror, you see Michigan back there. That Michigan game, that's the one that since, you started counting the wins, that's the one that everybody's kind of been counting towards and looking forward toward. Because you've seen Michigan. I mean, they've slipped up against a team. They struggled against Penn State, which is not a great Big Ten team this year. They lost to Wisconsin, who Nebraska beat by 30. But they've also beaten some really good teams by a lot of points in non-conference play.
Yeah, they only lost up at the, at a certain point in time. Or excuse me, I'm thinking of Michigan State. But no, Michigan, very solid team. We'll see what they look like. But to your point, I mean, this way this run's gone. It's like you play West Georgia, and if people remember the very first game, that first half was ugly.
Yeah,
and then they come back and they run the table, and then you get Florida International Panthers. And that first half was kind of ugly, and then they, second half turns great. Then you get Oklahoma, and that was kind of the real litmus test. You're down by 16, I want to say, maybe a little bit less than that.
Neutral site game too.
Yeah, 3 games in, we almost lost that streak, and then they would turn around and score 105 points to win at 105-99, showing that they can be in those types of shootouts and have really good offense. Then you beat New Mexico, who's like a solid team. Kansas State, Winthrop. Then you get Upstate, which play great. But then that week, I think this was kind of the week where everyone locked into, all right, this team's doing something special here. It was that Creighton, your rival, you beat the brakes off of them at home. Wisconsin, we talked about a 30-point win. And then the game that everyone said it's over here was that Illinois road game. And that's one where I talked about the boards kind of scared me in that one. They were doing a good job getting offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line, slowing the clock down, giving them a chance, but Nebraska does just enough. And then you get a couple layups, and then it's Michigan State. You win that game. Now here comes the road Big Ten games. How do you handle those? Well, you beat Ohio State, you beat Indiana, and they just keep winning. I mean, we're at a point here where I'm not going to look at any of these games, even when we get to Michigan. There's no reason for me to start thinking that Nebraska can't pull off an undefeated season. Now, is that a very tough thing to do, and is it something that I say we should all go to Vegas and put some money on it? No, of course not. But they are into contention. You know, given that it's basketball, these things can happen. You can have the craziest of upsets. There's no reason to look at this team as not favored in a very large chunk of these matchups coming up here. And if they beat Northwestern on the road, and you don't like to look ahead, the players don't. We as the fans get to a little bit. Washington, Minnesota, Michigan. I mean, if that team's undefeated, all eyes of college basketball are going to be watching Michigan versus Nebraska.
Going into February, whereas that's a month where football starts to die down. The college football season wrapped up. The NFL is only a handful of games left. That's when people turn their clocks to basketball season. March Madness is coming up. The weather's starting to get better outside. I mean, we've been blessed so far here. We haven't had much snow. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it.
Well, the farmers are going to be sad because they're going to say we need more. Because we'll be in a drought.
With this Nebraska team, though, it's just so unique to see just how many different guys have stepped up in situations. You know, Jamarcus Lawrence against Illinois. Sam Hoiberg against Kansas State getting that basket right at the end. Price and Frager last night. I mean, 51 combined between those two.
And a game where you needed it because Rick Mast wasn't playing his best ball.
And he's usually the guy everyone points to is like he's the guy. He's going to get the ball in the paint. He's going to have that nice touch underneath the rim, and he can make threes when he can. He made a lot of threes in the first half against Michigan State. And
he's kind of cooled off since then, though, which has been impressive because again, that's road wins versus Ohio State and Indiana. And we're not really getting the best ball to Rick Mast. It's not bad basketball, but it's not him dominating the way he has earlier in the season. And a lot of that's his three-point shot, which I'd imagine those numbers will kind of go back to equilibrium and he'll start knocking some more down here. But it just goes to point, like you got multiple guys stepping up. And when you got 50-plus points combined with Frager, freshman, and then Sanford, you know, a guy coming off the bench over at Iowa who now Iowa's got to be kicking themselves and being like, we could have gave this guy a little bit more money, my lord.
He did admit he traveled last year though in that Iowa game.
And that's when I loved him. I was like, this is he's willing to admit the tough things.
Hey, he's red now, so he's got a favoritism. That was a good way to win over the fans, and he's won them over with his game. I haven't seen the tickets yet for any of the games left. Coming into last night, there were only a handful of tickets remaining left on the market for the rest of the home game. I think Washington was one of them. There was another one. There was two more games that weren't sold out. I mean, it's got to be getting close, right? I mean, at this rate, they are the.
Well, I think Oregon was one of them that wasn't sold out, and that got sold out before it started.
Yeah, I mean,
so I think we're just down
to Washington
one, and I have to double check. There's very likely they got that one.
It has to be. I mean, they are the Beatles of the town right now. They are. I mean, if you saw them walk across the street right now, I mean, people would honk their horns probably here on O Street. If you saw Sam Hoiberg or Rick Mast or whatever, I mean, they are the guys, and it's awesome to see just because basketball is just overshadowed by everything.
It really
such a long time. And, you know, I've always been a Nebraska basketball fan. I remember one of my first memories was my dad took me to a game. They played Maryland Eastern Shore. I don't remember what year. I don't remember what year it was. It was like a Christmas break game. It was like Cookie Miller, Alex Marich, Ryan Anderson, Sek Henry. Those are some of the starters that day. And I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, we sat pretty high up, so they're probably pretty cheap seats. But at the time,
they were all cheap seats at that period.
It was like a December game. But at the time, they held Maryland Eastern Shore to like 8 points in the first half of the game. It was. I think it's a record still. It might still be a record. So I witnessed history even back then. I'd have to look it up, but it's like a core. That was my first memories as a Nebraska basketball.
Was holding a team to 8.5.
And I mean, they weren't a great team.
But hey,
it was them.
That's what you do to them.
I saw them, and then I think I saw Alcorn State that year. But I just remember Cookie Miller and Alex Marich, and I was like, man, this guy from Australia, this guy's like 7 foot tall. This is awesome. I'm like 7 years old. like it's like I as a 7-year-old, that's a cool thing to see. Just
Yeah, I can't remember my first basketball game. I'll never forget because we're playing Iowa at the Vault, and this was like early years. The Vault was like just starting to
see. This was at Bob Devaney. I was young. I barely like. That was my first recollection. Like I don't remember watching games before then. But Dad was like, "We got tickets to the game," and I'm like, "All right." And we went, and I'm like 6 or 7 years
Then
old.
you fell in love.
I was like, "This is awesome!" It's a basketball game. So that was my origin story of Nebraska sports, pretty much. I think I went to I don't remember my first football game, but the basketball game is a core memory because it was like they held them to it was like 31-8 or something. I'll have to look it up.
It's incredible, those core memories, because for me in football, McNeese State, the Amir Abdullah run. That scared the living daylights, but shout out to Amir Abdullah.
It scared you and 85,000 plus in that stadium and all those watching on TV.
This is one of the weirdest. Everyone's hyping it up. Like, oh, this would be a good game for you to go to for the first one. And we're looking around like, we might.
There's a chance we might lose, and Amir just kind of wiggles his
I'll
way
just
through.
break 8 tackles. Don't worry about it. But I know we talked about ticket prices, and it was funny last night. As soon as the Huskers won, me and DP will look at ticket prices a lot at late night. And as soon as Nebraska won, the tickets were cheap. And then Nebraska won. It immediately started going up and up and up and up. Now, you can still get somewhat cheap, and now the cheapest one's like $52, and that's a nosebleed. Before it was like $20, you could go sit in there. And now if you want to get closer to it, you're going to be paying over $100. So that tells me that Husker fans saw that win, and they're like, we'll go punch our ticket to go watch these guys in Evanston.
Why not? Hottest ticket in town. Why not? I mean, at this rate, you're at a point where, if this bleeds into next year, like let's say they're going to have obviously a successful season this year. Next year, what are tickets going to look like when the schedule drops?
Well, I wonder too, like, what is Fred Hoiberg able to pull for interest now?
Because
there's going to be guys that see that system, and you look at how that system operates, and if you're a really good shooter, you're looking at a guy like Sanford. You're even a guy, we don't even have a Sejan, by the way, who's another that's lethal shooter who can come off the bench and take over.
So when he went down, I was like, maybe this is where the season kind of comes crashing down. But no, he's kind of embraced his role as a hype guy, which is awesome to see. I think the team chemistry is just such a factor because these guys are they're brothers, essentially.
Well, I'd imagine they all got a little bit of chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, and they won the crown, and it's like some people didn't take it very seriously. These guys, hey, you won a tournament. Coming to this year, you guys are just the guys who won. You guys just won the college basketball crown tournament, and just Nebraska.
Doesn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. And then they come in here, and you're beating your Michigan States, your Illinois, your Wisconsins, your Creightons. Kind of a big deal. And they've backed it up from the jump, pretty much.
Well, that's why I always say shame on programs that opt out of postseason play, like the Notre Dames of the world.
That tournament. I remember watching that.
And there were some basketball teams that opted out of it.
Yeah, and then there was Central Florida and Nebraska was the finals, and it felt. The attendance there wasn't anything. It wasn't anything crazy, but it still felt like a pretty decent. It was on Fox. It was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I was fired up. A lot of people tuned in. I think the numbers are actually pretty good for it.
Yeah,
and you can't tell me that like postseason play is worthless if you don't make what you wanted originally. Because Kel Jacobson, who we talk about all the time now this season, who's got the phenomenal record of if he plays more than 10 minutes, Nebraska still hasn't lost. But he found his role. We didn't hear anything or see anything from Kel Jacobson all year outside of a few plays here and there. And then we get to the college basketball crown, and Kel Jacobson finds his role on the team. And that has not changed whatsoever this year, which he deserves a lot of credit for. Because you bring in some guys, you bring in Kendall Blue, you bring in Jamarcus Lawrence, you bring in some other talent along with him. Marinka Mass is coming back. All right, Kel Jacobson, your role might be diminished here. No, not whatsoever. He just continues to do what he did so well earlier last year in the college basketball crown. And he stayed right with those guys that have came into this new Husker basketball team. So Kel Jacobson deserves a ton of credit for, we talk about it with guys all the time of, although we don't always know, like, are they scared of the competition? Are they going somewhere else? Are they just not putting in that full effort because they don't think they're going to get the minutes? Kel Jacobson was not scared whatsoever, and his play continues to show that. We'll read a couple texts here, and then we got to go ahead, throw it to our first break. We got Mike. I thought the Crown Tournament was interesting because it's a revenue shared with players. That's right.
Yep.
The incentive to win was higher. You get more money, or you got more money. The more money you got, I thought it was awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about it. There was a little bit of incentive for the guys too, which, again, if your team or a coach saying we're too good for that, like, why? It's a free trip. You get money. Your players can make some money. Go play in the damn tournament.
You're playing for something.
Exactly.
It's not just we're playing a couple extra games to see if we can win a tournament. You're playing with kind of a chip on your shoulder, a chance to make a little revenue yourself, make the program a little revenue, and they seized the opportunity.
It's a lot of fun, and we're going to keep watching this journey as long as it goes on. And even if these guys take a loss, we know that it's a really good squad.
Yep.
They're going to be able to bounce back even if they do happen to take one. They got Northwestern later this week, the women. They got the Michigan State Spartans tomorrow, 6 p.m. Husker basketball. It's all good here in the capital city. Don't go anywhere. We'll throw it to break. We got 2 more segments. Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns. We'll talk to you guys then.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in January. Try their hot chocolate latte, cookie croissants, and special winter flavor hot cocoa cream cheese on any bagel. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward, Bagels & Joe.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Segment number 2, Ticket Weeknights. Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns, getting you through this hour. And we did find some fun trivia. We did find that date. What was the team and the score all the way back in 2012?
2007.
Talking Husker hoops here.
I was like a first grader at this time. So this was Nebraska basketball. They had like Alex March, Zach Henry, Cookie Miller, Sheng Ping, Ade Daganduro. Those were some of the rotational guys. So it was not Maryland. It was North Carolina Central. It was a December, one of those, before conference play begins game.
Yep.
3 days before Christmas or whatever. The final score 71-28 in favor of the Huskers. It was North Carolina Central only scored 8 points in the first half. That is, I'd have to assume that has to be a record still.
I would think so. I don't. That's tough to do.
8 unless you're just missing everything.
And we're talking Division I college basketball.
And this was a time where the 3-point line wasn't what it was as it is now. I mean,
but it still existed.
This was nearly 18 years ago, and 35-8 at halftime. I mean,
what do you tell the guys at half? Keep shooting.
Keep shooting. Something's gonna fall. I mean, the game. I mean, at that point,
shooter's gonna shoot.
At that point, it's just. North Carolina Central, in retrospect, ended up going 4-26 that year. Nebraska went 20-13. Second round exit in the Big 12 conference tournament at the time to Kansas. Made the NIT, eliminated by Missouri in the second round. So they ran into Missouri conference team in the.
But that was a pretty good basketball team that year.
That Nebraska team was solid. I mean, Alex March was one of the better centers they had at the time. Ade Daganduro went on to play for the Nigerian team. Cookie Miller was a point guard there. Zach Henry played a ton of years. Ryan Anderson was the multi-year starter. So those are some names. I don't know. How many of those names sound familiar to you?
3.
I guess I know.
Cookie's always the big one that everyone
Cookie Miller,
because he was an absolute menace out there.
And he had a good name. Cookie Miller's a cool name.
Also, he'd be so good on this Fred Hoiberg team. Just think about his style of play.
He kind of be like a Hoiberg / I don't know,
Hoiberg and Webster. He'd be like combine them together. A little bit of savviness in the mid-range shooting game that can also
throw a little
back.
Bit of, he wasn't the tallest guy. He'd be like a Benny Parker throwing him there.
That'd
be if all 3 of those guys came together, that's what Cookie Miller was.
Man, shout out to him. He was like one of those players that a lot of people in our generation. Like, that was kind of one of their first guys. They're like, this guy's making me a Husker basketball fan.
That was my first recollection of Husker basketball, and I can't believe, Ade Daganduro and Alex March, those names, stick in my head still.
Yeah, Teron Petaway's always in Shields. Those are, when I really started sinking my teeth into it, but Cookie Miller was kind of like that was
the
chapter.
Doc Sadler years when he was still, he was there for multiple. And he came back for another run. He came back as an assistant on Hoiberg's staff.
That's right, he did. Well, I just want to put that out there because that's some fun trivia to think. This year's fun, but we had some moments in the past.
You got to look back at the past and to know the future because
I know Cookie Miller's having a great time watching this team.
Those guys seeing what they're doing now. I mean, that's awesome to see.
Well, let's get a little bit to the Mike Eckler news, and we're just going to play this one for Matt Rhule. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversations about Mike Eckler, his role here at Nebraska. Is he staying? Is he leaving? Matt Rhule got asked about that. So we'll play this audio clip, and then Nick Wyman will get your thoughts.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's you know how this time of year is. These things happen. What I can tell you is right in the middle of the season, we offered Mike a huge extent. He's done a great job, a huge extension to make him either first or second highest paid special teams coordinator. But at the end of the day, people pursue people. I know Mike's a Nebraskan. He wanted to come back and be a part of this. But people have other things. Mike's also been a defensive coordinator. He's also been a part of things. And obviously we hired Rob to do the defense. Mike's done a great job on special teams. But if people want to take other jobs, all I can do is put them under contract and offer them extensions and hope that they stay. So I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of learning about a lot of things on social media. And me, I'm never going to BS anybody. with that being said, he taught us a great system of special teams. He taught us a great teaching progression. And I've got some guys here, Josh Martin, Nick Humphrey, who, were his right hand guys. I have a guy, Brett Maher, who kicked in the NFL, who's brilliant. So I hope Mike's back. I love working with him. If a team pursues him and he decides to leave, I do have the guys and the system in place, though, to just do it from within.
What are your thoughts when you hear that?
So I jotted down a couple things listening to that. I clipped that earlier today. Bach and Blackshear wanted it and threw it out there, and they were the first ones to kind of get that out there because that came out today and it's been all over social media.
Was that the House of Rule podcast?
No, it was. I can't remember the name of it. It was with. I can't remember the name of it, but that was just a minute of the 3 minutes of that spiel. I mean, huge extension stands out to me because that Matt said that they offered him to be one of the highest paid special teams coordinators. That's the one thing that kind of jumped out to me, and it's like, I mean, he's like you said, he's a Nebraska guy, and if you want to take that, you want to take that. But then he mentions there wasn't really Matt really didn't really say, no, this isn't true, or yes. There wasn't really. They danced a fine line. There wasn't a real answer in that answer. And then the last thing he mentioned, coordinators somewhere else. Maybe Eckler wants to become a defensive coordinator. He kind of
I think that's where I'm at.
There's kind of a coordinator role. Does he want to become a defensive coordinator or take a just to jump that role?
And we got unknown texter, and I'll give it back to you just because he's on that same wavelength.
Sure.
That sounds to me like a guy that wanted to be the defensive coordinator but didn't get the job. That's what I think.
That happens in life. That happens not just in sports but in life. Somebody gets the promotion and you don't get it, and they bring in somebody else from wherever, and you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to move up more than likely if this guy's locked in. I have to look elsewhere. And that's just life. That's just coaching, and coaches move around all the time. And I think that's just kind of the boat he's in. If he wants to go be a defensive coordinator somewhere, which I don't know off the top of my head.
How in love are you with Orridge taking over as our defensive coordinator?
I like it. I think, what he did
would you ever consider giving it to Mike Eckler?
At the time, I didn't really think it was really a possibility. That's the thing. And if they're offering this huge extension, say they do, would you just promote him to defensive coordinator then, since you already have him on payroll? I don't know how that all entails, but with Orridge coming from San Diego State, I mean, that team had a complete turnaround. He's been at Idaho and then San Diego State, and now he's at Nebraska. He's jumped up levels. Idaho used to be an FBS team. Now they're in the FCS.
Yep.
Jumps up to the Mountain West Conference, San Diego State, and now he's going to be in the Big Ten Conference with Nebraska. It just sounds to me like a guy who is thinking in the back of my mind, like, hey, I might get the promotion, but I didn't, and now I'm kind of looking elsewhere. Which it's just a weird situation because there wasn't really a yes. He could have said no. Rule could have just said not really comment on it, but he did.
I think he kind of hinted at it with the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, when he threw that out there, it was kind of like, well, he must be looking to get another job as somewhere. But it's all speculation. We don't know. He's still on staff, still on Nebraska's staff right now. We don't know. That could be he could be on here for a year, and then season ends, 2026 season ends, and he goes elsewhere. I don't know. I don't know what positions are open right now in the coaching ranks. It feels like some of those are kind of already filled.
Yeah, some of them are filled. The carousel's big enough that some of these coaches are still putting their coordinators, coaches around, but it's tough. I mean, the thing that hurts is like he is such a Nebraska guy, which is why you really would love to keep him, because I think it's important. We see it, just looking at what Fred Hoiberg's been doing with this team, and when you look at the teams that really have their foundation together, I mean, there is a continuity there, and then there is a real relationship with the program and the coaches and the players. And losing him, that's tough. Like, it's going to be hard to find a coach if he does leave, right? None of this is official. But if he does leave, I get it. The special teams, you had some guys around Mike Eckler. I mean, if that was the case, I can tell DP to just take off. I can run the ticket now because I've been around you. Like, obviously, no. Just because I was around DP in proximity does not mean I'm ready to take over the station. So I like what you're saying about those assistant coaches, but that doesn't mean that they're ready to take over and have that same effect on special teams. So that part, maybe we can hire within again. But it just does scare you, right? Because how many games did we lose because of special teams? And then Mike Eckler got here, and we could actually say we won games because of special teams. You could argue 3 games we won. And if you're going to lose that, maybe we only win 6 games this season. If you really take a look at special teams and say, if that didn't get better, how many games we win? We're actually probably close to that 6-game win margin again, if not below 6 wins, which is a really tough spot to be. So it's tough. I'm assuming, and again, nothing's solidified. There's no real news outlet, but my guess would be he does want a defensive coordinator job. You can be the highest paid special teams coordinator, but the 1,000th point unknown texter that pays probably astronomical in difference. Yeah, the defensive coordinator is going to get more. So if money was a real issue, then that makes sense. Or if he just wants to be a defensive coordinator, because that's what he's been hoping to do, and he maybe thought that job was his, I can kind of see that as well. So we'll have to wait and decide what all shakes out for Matt Rhule and his coaching staff as he continues to try to piece this thing together, along with the transfer portal. I know the fans are anxious at the very least, but I think we're all hoping that they get it done.
Anxious might be an understatement at this point.
Angry.
And it's evolving, and there's always Nebraska football. There's always going to be news. There's always going to be something, and I feel like every week there's just a curveball just kind of thrown in there, and there's always something for us to talk about.
But we got this beautiful thing called Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, keep winning.
And it takes your eyes off of all of it. And shout out to the wrestling program as well. We got some good things going on.
Volleyball, we talked about all the volleyball players going pro yesterday, and they got their whole team back. You name it, softball and baseball starting up here. Practice. I think they started some outside practice.
Yeah, and I know the golf teams are going to get back to it here.
I think the baseball starts in like 30-some days from now, which is crazy to say.
And that'll be a whole hour in itself when we get the Husker baseball to figure out what are the expectations for those guys. Because, again, back-to-back Big Ten champions. Last year was not as good as 2 years ago, but they just got it together in the Big Ten championship game and it really shocked a lot of people. So don't go anywhere. We do got to go ahead and throw it to our final break here. Again, Nick Wyman, Harrison Arns doing Ticket Weeknights. One more segment on the other side. We'll talk to you then.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Again, you guys are always welcome to join in via the stream. I understand the stream's a little bit different, and I apologize. I think it just says, welcome to our live stream. I was supposed to say Ticket weeknights, but we're trying some new things out. If you're watching the stream, fantastic. It is hopefully a high resolution. Myself, Nick Wyman, and we're working on the borders. We want that to eventually cover the whole thing, but at least the video quality looks great.
It does. It does look really good. I just looked at it, and there's this little box here, but it still looks really good. Like I once you get that figured out, I mean, it's gonna look solid.
We can stream in 4K.
4K. We're gonna have to start putting makeup on. We're gonna have to hire a makeup artist.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that part. People are gonna get me in 4K and be like, "Oh, that's the guy I've been listening to."
This is this guy. I don't. They're gonna with the video streams. They're gonna be like, I don't know if we can.
Our numbers start going down once we start streaming to 4K.
You gotta hire better looking people. That's might be a quota now.
Might have to start putting that in there. But nonetheless, you're stuck with our faces at the very least for this hour. But we do got Chris Rapp coming up next. And like I said, that'll be on Riverside as well, if all things go plan accordingly. But Nick Wyman, we only got a little bit of time here left. And you guys can join in. You guys have been great. Starter Heyman text line. But the Michigan State Spartans, they take on the Huskers. It is a road game for the women's Huskers versus the women's Michigan State Spartans. I know you did some key notes on that game. What are the things to look for this? Are they still ranked 24, Nebraska?
Yep, 24 and 15. So it's a top 25 matchup tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on Big Ten Network. Nebraska 13-6 all time against the Spartans. 85-80 last year. Nebraska won. Alexis Markowski had a big game in that one. 8 of the 13 wins for Nebraska this year by 10 or less points. So a gritty group, and we saw that a couple weeks ago against Indiana. Nebraska, though, 7-0 all-time against the Spartans at PBA, 4-5 all-time at East Lansing.
Ooh.
So that is they're good at home against Michigan State historically. But when they travel out there, they've been.
That's pretty good though to be in that like for road games. That's actually not bad to be close to that 500 mark. Able to steal every other one.
This is a pretty big game for them.
Oh, huge.
They've they've had a couple slip-ups. Obviously you're playing USC, who's legit. You're playing a team like UCLA, who is arguably one of the better top 5 teams in women's college basketball.
Probably finish in the top 5.
They're gonna be a favorite in people's brackets once that time comes around.
At the very least, Elite 8 team.
100%. Britt Prince, 6 20-point performances this season, 2 of those 30-plus points. However, she was held to 6 points against UCLA, which that was a big factor why that game was so out of reach, because UCLA, the Bruins, did a really good job of controlling Britt Prince because she makes the team go.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska, though, 10-12 rotation deep. That will help. Michigan State, though, is rolling. 8 straight, 16-1, 5-1 in Big Ten play. Rashonda Jones, 23 points in the comeback win against Oregon in their last one. This is Michigan State's best record through 17 games since 2010-2011 campaign. So this is Michigan.
Well, the one loss is only Wisconsin, so I can see that.
And Nebraska's had their troubles up there, and I think it's a really good game on paper. Like, this is a top 25 game that is a must-watch. I mean, the men's team you can talk all about. The women's team's just as good.
Yeah, I mean, their losses are ranked. They're only 3 losses. They don't have a bad loss.
No, and some of those games, it's just, USC got hot at the right moment, pulled away, pulled ahead. UCLA is just probably one of the better teams in college.
Iowa's the one that really hurts, just because it's Iowa.
And that was a New Year's Day game, and they're a solid program. They have.
I think it was early in the day too.
It was a weird time frame,
which is always tough to do. But
yes.
There's still a lot at stake. And to your point, just to point out some of the opponents that Michigan State has knocked off the board, if they've been on an awesome run this season. Again, they were undefeated all the way until they played unranked Wisconsin, but they played them on the road. They would lose 78-64. Then, right when the schedule was supposed to get a little bit tougher, and they knocked down number 13 Ole Miss convincingly, 66-49, and then knocked down ranked Washington, 23 Washington convincingly, 82-67. And then they just beat the Ducks, was their last game versus Oregon, and they did it on the road.
Came back in that game, too.
Yep, 85-81. And now they got to come to play Nebraska, number 24 ranked Nebraska, 6 p.m. tomorrow. And that's one it's just going to shape how the Big Ten is going to look as we're getting into the meat of the Big Ten conference schedule. You like where both programs are at, though. And despite all the negatives that some people want to bring into football, things are actually pretty good if you keep your eyes elsewhere. And maybe football's great, too. Maybe we're all wrong about football, and that place is...
Well, we won't know until pads are put on in a couple months.
The worst part about football is, we don't even know until November now.
You're not wrong. You can pass the eye test in August. If you don't finish strong, then that's how it is. But basketball, wrestling, volleyball, softball, baseball, bowling,
rifle,
everything else is rolling. Just got to get football on track.
It'll be fun. Nonetheless, it'll be something to talk about. Appreciate you guys listening. You guys are always welcome to join in. We'll be here till midnight. We got Raph up next, then DeMornay Pierce-Nell, then myself, and VP, the boss man. Nick, we'll let you get out of here. You work enough. Appreciate you as always. Don't go anywhere, though. For the ticket listeners, we'll be here all night.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Park